Well, there's a very interesting debate which has been sparked off. This by BJP MP Rakesh Sinha when he introduced the Population Regulation Bill of 2019 in the upper house. He has now suggested that people with more than 2 children ought to be disqualified automatically from being chosen as an MP, MLA or even the member of a local self-government body. This after the commencement of this act, if it is acceptable to both the houses, of course. Well, of course, understandably, this has kicked off a massive row, following which there are those who have said that this is a deliberate ploy to keep the minority community away from being represented in both the parliament as well as the assembly. Let's get you reactions from both sides of the border.
But I don't think he's targeting any particular community. But if Mr. Sinha would have a scrutiny of BJP MLAs and MPs, more than 50% of them would stand disqualified. He should realize that.
It is nonsense, absolute nonsense. You may choose to have less or more children, but I cannot allow my political rights to be taken away in a fascistic manner on this basis that there are more than 2 children. The number of children doesn't determine your political seriousness and your political maturity, and therefore this is a bill that is against the civil rights of Indian citizens.
Let's go across to our panelists. There's Sudesh Verma, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us, Tahira Hassan, an activist, as well as Ashutosh Mishra, a senior journalist. Tahira Hassan, if I can come to you first. By 2050, India's population will be 1.69 billion. That's going to be more than even China. Do you think desperate times call for desperate measures, even if it is this 2-child Sansad policy?
Yes, I think first we should go for the awareness programs. 1 year they should give to the awareness program, and after that the people who are going to follow this rule, give them incentives, and who are not going to follow, don't give subsidies, reduce their subsidies like BPL card, education facilities, right to education, and the right to education. I mean, these things should be done
but
first.
That's already happened.
I mean, you cannot
has been one of the awareness programs which has been going on for decades now, Tahira Hassan. That's not really brought about much.
But now it had been, but after the Sanjay Gandhi's, this thing was taken by the Congress, and its repercussion was so strong that people stopped talking about it all of a sudden, you know. So it should be started now again, and take this campaign to the grassroots and make the things to be understandable to them, and reduce their subsidies who are not going to follow these norms, because like Gujraj Singh said that their voting right will be taken out.
Yes.
I mean, this is not our fundamental right, cannot be taken out. You cannot take the fundamental right, but this is, I agree, that don't give the ticket for MP election of assembly and parliament election.
But in fact, let me bring in Sudesh.
If they don't
Sudesh,
follow
here's the
norms.
problem. There are those who have said that this bill, which is being pushed by the BJP, at least one of your members, is an attempt to specifically target a certain minority segment. Is there any truth in that, because it is likely to affect one community more than others?
Meghna, let me first clarify a few things. First, Dr. Rakesh Sinha has initiated this bill in his capacity as a private member, and this is the forum that Parliament allows to members, even if they belong to certain party, to come up with certain issues on which they are very emotional about, or they feel that the government should move.
So the BJP does not back this bill, Sudesh?
This is not a government-sponsored bill. This is not a party-sponsored bill. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that if the party decides, then the government will bring the bill, isn't it? So the party has not taken a stand on this. But yes, it's a matter of debate that this 2-child norm which you are speaking about, lot of awareness campaign have been carried. Of course, population policy has been, the issue that the government has been debating all throughout. So we have reached a situation where certain drastic needs to be done. But what that needs to be done are the things that should be debated. And Dr. Rakesh Sinha's bill is going to generate that debate, and everybody is going to take a stand on that. It should not be seen from a communal spectacle. Communal angle should not be seen. What is good for the country, that should be the basis for taking decision. It's not against Muslim, it's not against Hindus, it's for the country. What is good for the country should be given to everyone, isn't it?
But I find it very strange, Sudesh, that you are saying that the BJP is not going to take a stand on this. We'll have to wait and see when it gets tabled in the parliament, if BJP does decide to take a stand on it. But Ashutosh Mishra, do you think it's as innocuous as Sudesh would have us believe? This is nothing but a bit to try and bring down the numbers, nothing to do with any community per se, especially no religious community.
Now, Mr. Sinha belongs to the band of politicians who use such dog whistle issues to stay in limelight.
Okay.
Now, because any person, and I am seeing that ignorance seems to be the bliss.
But this is an important issue.
Because
I think there is a need to address this issue.
Just listen. If you let me
with
complete
my
what I am trying to say, you will understand that even you are ignorant of the fact that the replacement fertility rate needs to be 2.1. In more than 20 states, it's already below that. India's fertility rate today is 2.2. Okay, and except for 2 states where it's over 3, things are under control, and the way things have been working, population is not as big an issue as my other panelists are trying to show it to be, or as Mr. Sinha is trying to show. I mean, let's remember, it's the same Mr. Sinha who had promised to bring in a private member bill on Ram Mandir.
Okay.
So he uses this controversial. He uses these controversial issues to stay in limelight. As I said, dog whistle issues. So as far as population control measures are concerned, they are under control. Even in case of Muslims, the fertility rate has come down drastically. It has come down from I think 3.4.
Okay, fine. You've made your point. You are saying that the population explosion is something which is essentially fictitious, that it's already managed to be brought under control. But Tahira, here's the problem. Even by the vaguest of estimates, what we are picking up is that the number of people who are going to be there in India, it's not going to be enough to ensure that we are even going to provide food for all of them. 1.69 billion people, India does not have the resources, if nothing else, to provide food for them.
However, it's an important
issue, Tahira, is when you said that it's perfectly fine to stop people who have 2 children from being a people's representative, be it in an assembly or a parliament, are you not then denying, Tahira, the fundamental right to take part in the democratic process? Is that not a violation of that? Because your electoral maturity does not get decided by the number of kids you have.
This is, I am saying that if the parties, BJP is saying this thing, they should have started from within their own party this thing. Stop giving ticket. But this is what I think. First you take this campaign because it is very important issue. It should not be politicized. Again I will say, because very soon we are going to face the water crisis, food crisis. Try to understand, we should sit and debate on that and find some way and go for the campaign. And the people who don't follow,
please look at the latest statistics. You are falling for false propaganda.
Take their subsidy.
Okay. Taking the point of Ashutosh Mishra ahead, if I can come to you, Sudesh, here's the problem. There are other states also who have experimented. For example, if we take the status of China, it had to roll back its one-child policy because they realized that it is going to be disastrous for their economy. When the amount of aging population started overcoming the number of new births, which is why they are literally going to see a lull in their economy because of their own policies. That is something that needs to be looked into. If Ashutosh Mishra is to be believed, the population of India is already coming down. No need to panic, press the panic button and take steps like this, because you may just have a repercussion in the future of Indian economy by ensuring that the aging population goes up. Sudesh, has the BJP, has your private member, as he's participated in this bill when he tabled, has he looked into this aspect?
You see, I'll comment on the ideological aspect of it. You see, we have targeted a replaceable growth rate of 2.1%. That has not happened. It is still 2.4. Do you know that 1.5 crore people are getting added to the population every year. If that is going to be the case, how are you going to do the planning of resources? There is immense pressure. If you want to solve the water crisis, if you want to tackle food crisis, then increasing population is a big problem, and you have to tackle. You see, at the level of panchayat, some states have already introduced it, and if there is a case which Supreme Court decided that the person got 3 children and he was disqualified. So already it is happening. There is a momentum for this. So the entire, the parliamentarians have to think about it. What is good for the country? And if the debate comes up, why should we be scared of debate?
Yes.
What are the sensitive issues? Let us discuss that.
Okay, fair enough. Ashutosh Mishra, respond to that. What's wrong in having a debate? Let's have this debate. Population explosion is a problem. I will just come to you, Tahir. I'll just come to you, Ashutosh Mishra. Why shouldn't we have this debate in the parliament?
Yeah.
Because Meghna, these are ignorant people who are unaware. I am talking about people like Mr. Rakesh Sinha, who are unaware of the latest statistics, which already show that in 20 states the fertility rate is below the replacement level. At all India level, it's 2.2. So whatever is happening,
which is already more than what we would have wanted. 2.1 is what we aimed at. It's less than that. It's more than that.
Socio-political. No. 2.1 is the minimum that you need. 2.1 is the rate that you need for the
I have never heard an argument against
balance to be there between young and old population.
Yes.
In China, it has fallen
population control.
It's below 1.6.
You can have different ways to control.
Sudesh, you are ignoring.
No, Sudesh, let him finish. That comment wasn't meant for you. Ashutosh Mishra has made it clear. That comment wasn't for you, Sudesh, but Tahira wanted to come in. Go ahead, Tahira Hassan. A quick word to Tahira Hassan. Go ahead.
Yes, I want to ask one question. If suppose some person have triplet, 3,
okay,
then what they should do?
Well, perhaps Sudesh Verma can answer that.
All the things should be.
What happened? What are the checks and balances?
Is very important on that issue.
Sudesh, what about checks and balances? Someone has a triplet. What will you do? Or what do you think Rakesh Sharma would have liked to do?
Any such law, a very easy method can be evolved. Any such law should not be implemented with retrospective effect. As simple as that. With retrospective effect, it should not be applied. So that those who have produced children, they can still continue. But those who are coming, they can at least have the law and implement the law on them.
Well, Ashutosh Mishra, you wanted to come in. Go ahead. When we were talking and discussing this about the number of people, we are already far more than what we would have ideally wanted when it comes to our growth in population. Then why not take steps right now? Ashutosh Mishra.
Meghna, I don't think you people are listening to what I am telling you. Again and again, at the cost of sounding repetitive, I am telling you that the population control measures are already working. In 20 states, the population fertility rate is already below the replacement rate. And in only 2 states, it's above 3. So population control measures are already working. And we have been warned by global agencies not to make the same mistake that China has made. And China, in fact, is now plans to withdraw this 2-child policy.
They've already
from
done
March
that.
2020.
Yes.
That's the earliest they can withdraw.
They're looking at.
So, no, that's the 1-child. You are speaking about
the
one-child
policy.
No,
yes,
I am talking about the 2-child policy. And in India, I am talking about the 2-child policy. They want to remove that restriction also now, because population is something that is it's already. My panelists are unaware of the facts.
Yes, okay. Ashutosh Mishra, you made your point. You said that the steps which have been taken in the past have already shown color, and there is no need to go and pander and dabble in what Ashutosh Mishra has called essentially politics. Well, unfortunately, we have already run out of time, but thank you so much, Sudesh Verma, for joining us, Tahira Hassan, as well as Ashutosh Mishra here on the debate. This is clearly one of the debates, not just rocking times now here, but we expect a lot of debates and discussions and, of course, arguments in the parliament as well. Thank you so much for watching. A short break, we'll return.